The night was ice clear and there was a full moon. You could hear the growl of the bombers coming over southern England, heading towards Coventry. 7:10 there was an alarm sounded, but before it had even finished sounding, the first bombs started falling. The screams of falling bombs, the sound of rafters falling, the sound of whole buildings collapsing was happening all around the city. It was complete chaos, and in the middle of it, this cathedral, Coventry Cathedral, was suffering as well. Hit by fire bombs very quickly, the roof caught fire. The roof was held together by steel ties, and as the whole building began to overheat, so those ties began to twist and turn and made terrible screaming noises themselves. People nearby said it felt as if the whole cathedral was like an animal in pain. Provost Howard, who was in charge of the cathedral, went with a number of others to try and save what he could as the city burned around them and many people were killed. But before long they realised that actually there was nothing they could do. As the city burned, the cathedral burned as well. And when they came in the morning, all that was left was the charred ruin open to the sky. And as they looked at this building, people began to wonder, where was God in the whole of this? If even the cathedral was destroyed, where was God in the middle of this city that had been almost utterly destroyed in a single night? That was their question. Where could God possibly be?
When the cathedral was destroyed by fire, besides the rubble, nothing was left but a few charred beams, twisted girders, and a profusion of nails of all sizes lying everywhere. It would have been easy to see only destruction. But Jock Forbes, the cathedral stonemason, climbed the tower the next morning. He looked down and saw two charred roof beams lying in the shape of a cross. He saw hope in the midst of destruction. He took the beams, bound them together, and placed them as an altar cross behind the altar of rubble. Provost Howard reminded of another day of darkness as Jesus was nailed to the cross, recognised God's identification with suffering, and resisted the very human urge for vengeance. A move which continues to inspire and challenge us today, he had the words "Father, forgive" written on the wall of the ruined cathedral sanctuary. Only 2 words, you'll notice, not "Father, forgive them," for he wanted all who came here to recognise their own part, our own part, in the destructive patterns of behaviour which, unchecked, can lead to such disaster.
And the Reverend Arthur Wales, Vicar of St Mark's Church, Coventry, picked up from the cathedral ruins 3 large sharp nails and, binding them with wire into a cross, took it to show to the bishop. That was the first cross to be made from cathedral nails. During the BBC radio broadcast from the cathedral ruins on Christmas Day 1940, Provost Howard declared that, once the war was over, we should work with those who had once been enemies to build a kinder, more Christ-child-like world. The cross of nails quickly became a sign of friendship and hope in the post-war era. Many were gifted, in thanks and in friendship, to contacts all over the world.
The new cathedral, rebuilt next to the ruins, has become a centre for peacemaking and reconciliation around the world. The community of the Cross of Nails has grown into a network of partner charities, churches, seminaries and schools, which work for peace and reconciliation locally, nationally and internationally. Every day the cathedral joins with these partners across the world to pray the Coventry Litany of Reconciliation.
All have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. The hatred which divides nation from nation, race from race, class from class. Father, forgive.
The story of the Cross of Nails continues to influence us here at home.
Today the Cross of Nails has arrived at our school as part of the Cross of Nails pilgrimage around all the Church of England schools in the diocese. We are looking forward to learning about where the Cross of Nails originated from and more about what reconciliation means. We're looking forward to understanding each other better. And we're also looking forward to working together as well.
So what does this mean for us, especially in the centenary year of the diocese? Well, many of us have felt God calling us to make this news of reconciliation, this message of reconciliation, this ministry of reconciliation, our own right across the diocese, the cathedral, the parishes and other church communities, the schools and chaplaincies right across the diocese, so that we can be, well, this is the verse that we feel God has really put in our hearts. All this is from God, who reconciled us to himself through Christ and has given us the ministry of reconciliation. All this is from God. God has reconciled us to himself in Jesus Christ. Now we are called to be bearers of this ministry, reconcilers, right across the diocese and beyond.